Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And today we're going to talk about healing from trauma. Now, with COVID, here, it hasn't gone anywhere. People are talking about we're in post-COVID. I don't know about that. And everything else that's going on in the world right now, learning how to heal from trauma may be the perfect thing we need to hear right now. So sit right there. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Yep, you heard me right. We're going to talk about healing from trauma. You know, we've all had so many things going. You guys that follow us and know what we're doing, we've had death in the family. We've all been going through COVID. I feel like I've been locked in my house for almost 3 years. I mean, I know you all do. So we invited Dr. Michiyo Ambrosius to be here today. You guys know I'm not saying that name again because I do not want to mess it up. We're going to call her Dr. M. We invited Dr. M in because she's a specialist and an expert for trauma. Hey, Dr. M, are you out there?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm glad to meet you. And
I'm so excited to meet you.
Yes, rest of the team.
And the rest of the team. So
Yes.
Can you tell me, I know that you're an expert. You've created a process and it's called the Eurobilateral Process. What is that?
Okay. Let's see. How shall I begin? Well, trauma memories are different from your everyday experiences and their memories. Trauma is accompanied with very strong emotions, of course, as you know. So the right side of the brain controls emotions and instinctive responses. And because of the nature of the trauma, the emotion that the person felt and the memory of the trauma experiences get bonded together and gets into the inner part of the brain. So called limbic system, and not in a cognitive layer of the brain, which is, most recently developed the human brain. And so have a tendency to sink into and get into the subconscious layer of the brain. So people don't have the memories. However, they'll come up in dreams, nightmares sometimes, and flashbacks, of, one particular most charged emotion scene, something like that. And that memory stays there because normally memories or experiences are processed and digested with involvement of the left side brain. But in this case, in the lower part of the brain is involved. So left side brain is not involved to resolve it. And we have to add some, stimulation to our nervous system that are connected to left and right side of the brain, as you know, and our opposite.
Yeah.
And so stimulation need to occur so that the memory can be moved into left and right side of the brain, so that the cognitive and rational and analytical side of the brain can work on it and process it so that resolution can occur.
That's amazing. I mean, people say, my dad used to say it all the time when I was a kid, you have a traumatic thing that happens. We were in a
Mhm,
car accident. He
mhm.
shake it off, shake it off, forget about it, it's done
Yes.
now. Just let
Go
it go.
on with your life.
And but they think you're told that, it does affect you. It's not inside, it's not in your brain. You can just wipe your hands of it and walk away. And I know that's not true. I know people that are in their 60s that are still
Mhm.
reliving things that happened to them when they were little kids, when they were
Oh,
9, 10
yeah.
years old. So
Mhm.
is there a time frame that you have to like work through this process in order to get past it? Like if it's been 20 or 30 years, is it too late to release that trauma?
Okay, and something special about traumatic memories are that after effects coming into the symptom forms do not appear 10 or 20 or 30, even 40 years later
Wow.
when they experience some triggering event, triggering experiences. Like someone who was captured and tortured and
Mm.
in the Bosnian and Serbian War, which was 30 years before. Recently, he was stopped by a police, and was he was speeding or something, and
Mhm.
so had a conversation with the police. The police was wearing the uniform um, similar to the soldiers who tortured him 30 years ago.
Mhm. Wow.
And that triggered the flood of memories of trauma. And he had so much anxiety that he had to be carried to emergency hospital, like sometimes 3 times a
Wow.
day, couldn't drive and went to the medical doctor. They put all sort of tests on him, but couldn't find the cause. And after 1 year and half of those
Mhm.
testing, couldn't find any cause. Finally, someone said, well, seek the help of a psychologist, psychotherapist. And he
Mhm.
came to me, and I asked him what happened. And, did you have any trauma incidents that you experienced? And he said, 30 years later, previously, I was captured as a POW and tortured every day.
That's
Bingo. And I said, I can fix that.
That's amazing. That's like wow. The other day we're working on a documentary for a man here in Las Vegas, and he was telling me a story about shoe shining. And
Uh-huh.
I'm a Navy veteran, and we went through this whole shoe shining treat or training when
Mm-hmm.
when we're overseas. Don't get your shoe shined because there could be a bomb in the. And immediately he started talking about shoe shining, and I could see in my mind, I could see that training, and I immediately got sad. And he was like, "What? What's the matter?" It was like instant.
Yeah.
So
But, trauma can be experienced with, everyday people.
yeah.
Not like, soldiers coming from the war zones
Hmm.
experience PTSD. Any kind of accidents, any kind of loss, uh, large kind of loss, such as loss of a loved one, large amount of money, house, job, identity, and even a pet. I had to treated a 15-year-old boy who lost his dog for in an accident, and
Oh
he
wow.
had to witness that. And he used to be a honor student, and that incident happened two years ago, and his grades went down and down and down because he felt very responsible for that, and he felt sorry for the lady who was involved in the accident, who was driving the car, and she was
Wow.
in shock as well, right, at that time. So effect of that was happening for like two years prior to he was brought to me by his father. And in his case, that was just one incident. So of course, I had to interview him and assess the situation, so on and so forth. So, but the application of the healing method and technique was only one time to fix his problem.
Oh my goodness. No, I do have the question of, does it make a difference if you're younger or older? Does it make a difference in male and female? Does trauma affect us differently?
No. Every person that receive trauma experiences should be treated in order to, well, take that heavy duty negative energy away. That will prevent their current energies, their activity levels. And when something traumatic happens to a child, they usually develop limiting beliefs such as, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy. And those limiting beliefs, unless they are treated and changed, affect a person's life forever in all sort of ways, such as if you believed in the idea, limiting belief, like I'm not lovable, they grow up and marry the same type of unloving persons many times, and they don't know why.
Exactly, exactly. And I know I got to let you go. I asked you to come in and do just this short interview, but I am like so fascinated by this topic. Before I let you go, Dr. M, what's the first step? I know it's a lot of process and it doesn't happen overnight, but what's the initial first step to start trying to find your way, out of trauma, past the sadness? What do you do first?
Well, seek out therapist who can apply this technique. And I have started the training sessions among the coaches and holistic practitioners, because existing therapists may have different trauma therapy techniques than I can offer, and they are, already how to do that. So
Right.
I'm in creating much better situations where people can approach the coaches or practitioners of holistic practitioners and get this technique.
And if somebody wanted to reach out to you personally and either work with you as a therapist and they want to learn your trainings, or
Mhm.
maybe there's someone who wants you to be their therapist, how do they get in touch with you?
Okay, the person can go to my website, and that has all the information, and that is called simple traumahealingmethod.com.
Traumahealingmethod.com. Okay, I know we touched on not even the tip,
Right,
the tip of what you do.
right.
I hope you'll come back and we can just focus on, come back as often as you want. I truly think that what you do is amazing and well needed, and there's so many people that you're touching. So you're welcome to come back anytime you want, but I hope you'll come back so that we can dive a little bit deeper, because I truly believe people do need to heal from the inside out. And
Right.
maybe we can talk about, how you start that, where that goes. I can sit here and talk with you all day, but I know our producer is going to cut us off soon. So Dr. M, can you give us that website one more time?
Traumahealingmethod.com.
Traumahealingmethod.com. Well, Dr. M, I thank you so much for being on with us today.
Well,
You're
thank you.
absolutely amazing, and you're always welcome to come back.
Great. Thank you for your invitation and enjoy meeting with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, everybody, you guys know what to do. If you didn't get the website, you're driving down the street, don't worry about it. Go to tigodirect.com. You know that's where all of our guests are. Go to tigodirect.com, type in Dr. M, type in trauma, and her website will come up, her profile will come up. You can send her a private message, and we'll get you guys connected to her. You know, I hope you, maybe not enjoyed this episode, but I hope it was very informative for you. I'm going to try my best to get Dr. M to come back again because we just got started. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.